am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And apparently, something weird is going on at MSNBC. A lot of people got fired. Now, when I say a lot of people, you think, oh, well, that's just business, Michael. People get fired every day. What are you talking about right now? I mean, but it was kind of suspicious. It seemed like they fired a lot of people who were very critical towards Donald Trump. And we have Stephen A. Smith addressing all of this. Let's listen.
But the first order of business to get into is, believe it or not, the news media. That's where I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started with the media headlines emanating from MSNBC itself, where the network's new president, Rebecca Cutler, decided to remove Joy Reid from her primetime slot. Reid's show, aptly named The Reid Out, had been a weeknight fixture at MSNBC at 7 p.m. since 2020. She often interviewed politicians and other newsmakers on various political issues that crossed race, culture, and social justice. Meanwhile, Simone Sanders Townsend, Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez, who currently serve as host of The Weekend, another MSNBC program, will eventually move into Taylor's 7 p.m. weekday time slot. However, reaction from inside the network was felt when Rachel Maddow, one of MSNBC's biggest stars, if not its biggest star, weighed in on Reid's situation Monday night. Maddow said this, quote, "In all of the jobs I have had in all of the years I have been alive, there's no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect for than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that. However, it is what I think," end quote. That was Rachel Maddow. A lot of people have thrown out opinions. We've seen people, supporters of Joy Reid, speak adamantly and emphatically online in support of her. You've got some folks calling for folks not to watch MSNBC anymore, etc. And obviously, a lot of folks out there are going to point to race, and race playing a role in all of this, because with all of the changes that are taking place, why does she have to be the show that goes? We're not going to do that today, because if we had to do that today, we'd have to do it every day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a real frank discussion right now about what transpires when it comes to us as black folks. We come out of the womb knowing we've got to be twice as good to get half as much. This is not new. And as a result of that, one would argue we're at a decisive disadvantage at times. Okay, fine. There's racism, there's prejudice out there. Yes, that's true. Not in every case, not in all cases, but in some cases, fine. We just have to be careful when we make that argument. I've invited Joy Reid on this show, and I'm looking forward to her accepting my invitation so we can talk. Let me tell you how I feel about Joy Reid first. I respect the hell out of this woman. She is highly intelligent, very, very knowledgeable, very passionate. She has a lot to say. She is more than a conscientious observer, and she is fearless in calling out what she believes to be inequities, unfairness, and the like anywhere, but especially as it pertains to the black community, and obviously as it pertains to leftists, to folks on the left. She is a Democrat. I'm not saying whether she's a Democrat officially or not. I'm just saying she leans left. Obviously, if you're on MSNBC, that is the belief. But we can't stop there, y'all. I saw what Megyn Kelly said about her and how Megyn Kelly basically, to some degree, took joy in her being axed. I take no joy in seeing Joy Reid axed from that time slot. As the reports go, she was making about an annual salary in the range of about $3 million a year. I don't want any money taken out of her pocket. But when we want to bring up race as the cause for her being gone, I don't think we're serving ourselves well. Michael Steele is going to be there as well as a replacement, along with Alicia. And you got to remember Menendez is right there as well. It's hard to make the race argument when her replacements are reported to be three individuals that already have a weekend show on the network, and they're going to be inserted in the network. And I'm just reading from the reports here, okay? I have not spoken to Joy Reid. I don't know. I've had the pleasure of meeting her on a couple of occasions. I certainly respect her. And I'm not here to castigate her in any way, but we do have to talk about the business in a very, very honest and fair fashion. Joy Reid was incredibly outspoken against the Trump administration, as has always been the case. Since election, her ratings have dropped by 47%. 47%. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't keep your job when stuff like that happens. You just don't. The business doesn't allow for that to happen. When you rate high, tolerance is high. When you rate low, tolerance is low. Let's look at the reports from here. It talked about how Reid will be replaced at the 7 p.m. hour by a trio of MSNBC weekend hosts, former Kamala Harris advisor Simone Sanders, anti-Trump Republican Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez, the daughter of former Democratic Senator and convicted felon Bob Menendez, okay? That's what it says here in the report, okay? It goes a bit further. The readout suffered a major slump. This is according to Newsweek. The readout suffered a major slump in ratings since the 2024 election. Nielsen Media Research revealed that Reid's show averaged around 759,000 viewers in early December, a 47% decline from the 1.4 million average it achieved in 2024 leading up to the election day. Her ratings basically were damn near cut in half. On February 20th, Reid's show was reported to have around 778,000 viewers, while Fox News' Laura Ingraham attracted an estimated 3.4 million in the same slot. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 3.4 million to 778,000. I'm going to repeat it again. That's 3.4 million to 778,000. That can't be ignored. When we make the argument and we want to bring race into the equation, we got to have it. We got to have the evidence. It can't be subliminal. It can't be something that's assumed. It can't be something that can that is rife with plausible deniability. We got to know it. Now, if you want to sit up there and say Trump had something to do with it, that's fine, because he's coming after them. He's coming after G. He's coming after Mr. Brian Roberts for Comcast and their left-leaning, a news outlet. He's definitely, or a channel rather. He's definitely doing that. We already seen him sue ABC and George Stephanopoulos. We already see him going after MSNBC. Donald Trump had an instant comment on Joy Reid on his Truth Social platform in the immediate aftermath of her being let go, dissing her and enjoying her departure. He's coming after folks. So now what it does is it provokes a bigger conversation about the networks themselves. And what are they going to stand up for? Or are they going to be strictly about their bottom line and kowtow to the President of the United States? Because he's coming for folks that he deems enemies. He's made no apologies nor any secret about it. That's what he's doing. And if you're going to support Joy Reid, the best way for you to do it was to make sure she didn't suffer a 47% drop in the ratings. See, we don't do that enough. And I'm speaking from personal experience, so I'm qualified to talk about this subject. Ladies and gentlemen, I will remind you that I had a show named Quite Frankly on ESPN2 from 2005 to 2007. I will remind you that it got canceled in 2007 After I did about 381 shows and I had about 785 guests, we didn't have enough viewers. The cost that it took to have that show on the air, to pay for all of the overhead that came with it, wasn't worth it because the ratings said so. And one of the things that I remember most is folks coming up to me. Oh, man, I love your show. Man, I watch it every day. You the man, Stephen A. The show had been canceled 6 months earlier. How the hell you watch me every day?
Yep, that is the question. Now, while he might have a extremely good point that she lost her job because of the ratings, there is a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that whoever the person is heading up at MSNBC right now, who they replaced somebody and that person is targeting people now. The person they replaced her with, another black man. Hopefully he does a good job. Honestly, I don't watch MSNBC, so I have no dog in this fight. I don't watch cable. I get my news from Twitter and YouTube. It's probably the problem. That's probably the problem. But either way, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all agree with Stephen A? Did she lose her job because of the views, or did she lose her job for other ulterior reasons? Let me know in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.